Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 4:30.
Now at 4:30, destructive devices. The shocking items deputies in York County found after searching two vehicles in two separate incidents on the highway. Plus, car blast. What caused the vehicle to go up in flames on a busy Lincoln road, and how a pair of good Samaritans stepped up at the fiery scene. And looming loss. Why one Lincoln neighborhood is set to lose a longtime asset, and how the community is reacting tonight. Well, we're learning some new details on a massive car fire on Homestead Expressway and West Pioneers Boulevard this morning. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Emma Norwood. Lincoln Fire and Rescue tells us the vehicle going up in flames and pulling a huge response is a total loss.
Need a ride?
Yes,
I don't think they heard me.
Citizen journalist Linda capturing this video for us on US 77. This was before first responders arrived at the scene. She tells us she and her husband, who was driving, tried to help out those people stranded from the fire. LFR tells us the fire was caused by a mechanical failure. You can see the plumes of smoke coming from the car and the flames burning right underneath of it. And this is what was left behind, a completely burned car just moments later, a total loss. Now the road has reopened to traffic. It's time now to take a look at your first forecast at 4:30 with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Rusty, I hear we could be warming up a bit more after a cool couple of days. What do you think?
Yeah, and it's going to take a couple of days. We still have tomorrow, which will be well below average, and then one more day. I think Friday is a pretty decent day, and then things heat up as we head towards the weekend and into next week. We're kind of in between a couple of things right now. Severe thunderstorm watch off to our east and to our south and west, so we're just kind of in the middle here. One little wave of energy losing steam as it moves towards Grand Island, and then another stronger storm over here in parts of Colorado. That may eventually make its way into southwest Nebraska later tonight. Right now, though, in the capital city, oh, the flag's all stuck. Oh. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, Honda of Lincoln. I don't think I've ever seen that flag do that. It's usually just flying out just fine. 82 degrees, which is still below average. We should be closer to 88. So we're at 82, 78 in Grand Island. Look at that in Broken Bow, 72, along with Valentine at 72. So temperatures are cooler than average, but the dew point's a little high. If you go out and about, you probably notice it. Hour by hour forecast has us into the middle 60s by early tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about storm chances in a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Rusty. Developing now, President Donald Trump dropping a bombshell, canceling plans to sign a landmark housing affordability bill. But the president visiting Capitol Hill this afternoon. Cole Higgins reports.
President Donald Trump visiting Capitol Hill Wednesday, but not signing a historic bipartisan housing bill as originally planned. Instead, opting to take the chance to pressure senators at a GOP lunch to pass his Save America Act.
It's a complete indifference to the cost squeeze on American families and to genuine efforts to do something about it.
The housing bill aims to tackle America's affordability crisis through encouraging more housing supply and encouraging local governments to reform zoning and permitting restrictions. The bill also includes a first-of-its-kind limit on private equity, prohibiting large investors from buying single-family homes. It passed both chambers of Congress with broad bipartisan support.
I can't think of anything that is a better way to celebrate the 250th anniversary of this country than making it easier for people to pursue the American dream of home ownership.
Less than 2 hours before the president's planned signing, he posted on social media, "Today's housing news conference and signing is hereby canceled until such time as we pass the desperately needed Save America Act, which I consider to be a national emergency." That bill would tighten ID requirements to vote in U.S. elections.
We have to press for election integrity measures. That's why we've made it a top priority.
While it has passed in the House, the elections bill has struggled to get support in the Senate. I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
And new data showing sales of newly built homes went down by 7.3% last month. It's the second consecutive month of sales dropping and the lowest level since January. Right now, a newly constructed home costs around $580,000. Experts say an uptick in mortgage rates this spring has likely kept prospective buyers on the sidelines. Well, right now, 2 men in York County are behind bars after authorities found explosive devices in 2 separate cases. The sheriff's office says these two, James Winter on the left side of your screen and Troy on the right, were both caught with homemade explosive devices in their vehicles. Authorities say both arrests were made following traffic stops last weekend. According to the York County Sheriff's Office, a deputy conducted a search of Field's car and discovered a destructive PVC pipe bomb. They did not specify what kind of explosive was in Winter's car, but they say it was around 7 inches long. Over to the war in Iran, the Trump administration says there is a deal to allow inspections of Iran's nuclear facilities, but Iran is denying that. ABC foreign correspondent Britt Clinton has more from Jerusalem.
Well, the head of the global nuclear watchdog said it will carry out inspections in Iran under the initial peace agreement with the United States. That's despite Iran coming out again and reiterating that Iran does not have any plans to grant the inspectors access to the damaged nuclear sites, adding that a decision on the matter would be made within the framework of a final agreement. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is in the Gulf states to basically try and convince them that the agreement is making progress, and details of that agreement after touching down in Abu Dhabi. The Secretary of State said he felt that good groundwork was laid over the last 72 hours with Iran, but when asked about concerns his Gulf country counterparts may have about the memorandum of understanding, he was very straightforward. He said that most certainly it will come up in these conversations and that there are items outside the memorandum that are certainly going to be covered. Britt Clinton, ABC News, Jerusalem.
And when asked about the Strait of Hormuz reopening fully following the deal, Rubio insisting it will be toll-free for passage through the critical waterway.
When we mean open the straits, we mean open the straits free in international waterways. I know of no country on the planet that supports tolling or a fee for the use of the straits. That's not going to happen. The president has been abundantly clear.
Rubio, in his visit to the Middle East, assuring U.S. allies that the U.S. remains committed to their security. Well, Nebraska baseball star Dylan Carey was honored with another award today. Carey has been racking up the postseason honors. For the latest, let's check in with Channel 8 Sports Director Nate Johnson.
Hey, thank you, Emma. Well, it seems like every other week a new Dylan Carey Award comes out, and it's something to talk about. And Carey is certainly deserving of all this offseason praise. Today, Carey picked up his second All-America honor from the College Baseball Foundation, who unveiled his 2026 All-America team today. Carey selected to the CBF All-American team, and what a season it was for Carey, who finished with a .353 batting average while adding in 16 doubles, 2 triples, 15 home runs, 65 RBIs, and 53 runs scored, and becoming the program's all-time leader in career doubles this season, and was 9th Husker in program history to reach 200 career hits, 150 runs, and 150 RBIs. In the field, he committed just 4 errors on 216 chances for a .981 fielding percentage while turning 29 double plays at shortstop. Carey was also named the Brooks Wallace Award earlier this month, among many other postseason awards. Now, we're going to have a lot more to talk about coming your way today in the Sports Zone. A big congrats to Carey. We'll see you later today. For now, though, Emma, we'll send things back over to you.
Thanks so much, Nate. And still ahead at 4:30, screen time sentiments. The new decision from a major school district to restrict phones on campus and why it's sparking controversy. Plus, response to refusal. House Senator Pete Ricketts is responding to a surprising decision by President Trump regarding a landmark bill to make housing more affordable for American families, coming up at 5. New at 4:30, more schools in the country taking steps to reduce screen time in class. The latest decision to ban the use of cell phones on campus coming from one of the largest school districts in the country. The move also causing some controversy. ABC's Rena Roy explains.
A new attempt to get kids in the classroom off of screens and back to old school in-person instruction. Public schools in Los Angeles, the nation's second largest school district, have now adopted one of the strictest policies restricting screen time in class. The policy passed by the Board of Education will ban screen use before second grade and limit screen time for older students. Once kids reach the second grade, they'll be allowed to spend 1 hour and 40 minutes on devices each week. That amount increases as they get older, eventually reaching 10 hours a week in high school. Parents and teachers have raised concern about an over-reliance on technology in school, worrying that digital instruction is replacing hands-on learning and social interaction. Doctors say encouraging too much screen time can lead to a number of health problems.
There can be physical effects, such as kids not going outside, less exercise, increased risk of being overweight or obese. There's also a lot of psychological and emotional effects as well.
But not everyone supports the change. Critics argue some students rely on classroom technology because they don't have regular access to computers at home. The board previously said that during COVID, student devices became a necessary lifeline. Adding our charge now is to recalibrate, evaluate the role of educational technology in the classroom, and balance access to that technology. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Developing now, the downtown area is preparing for a big change, but some people there say they're not so ready for it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Here, this is Jake Homewood reporting for Channel 8 News. These tree canopies you see behind me here at the courtyard in downtown Lincoln will be soon cutting down. Next week on June 30th, these tree canopies have been here for decades, and Tavern on the Square, among others, are deciding to cut these trees down for safety reasons. And well, coming up here at 6 o'clock, we'll be talking with someone behind that decision who is certainly sad to see them go. We'll have that right here on the news at 6.
Let's turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins for a look at your full forecast at 4:30. Rusty?
This was my entertainment yesterday. If you were watching at 4:30, a big semi tried to turn from where that white Jeep is at. It tried to make that turn, which by all means, do what you got to do. It was impressive. He made it, but barely. 48th and Cornhusker Highway, the ABC Seamless Cam is still under construction, and boy, they got to be getting close, right? As of today, we are about 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches below average. We're at 12.74 for the year in Lincoln. Normal is about 14.5. So we're keeping up with being about 1.5 inches behind, but we're starting to lose a little ground. We need some more moisture out there. Everybody needs some more moisture. Temperatures have been fantastic the last couple of days. A little humid today, sure, but compared to what's coming up down the road, this is absolutely awesome. Middle 60s for lows. That's a little warm, but middle and upper 70s for highs yesterday and lower 80s for highs today. That'll do. I think we'll be around 82, 83 degrees through the next couple of hours. A chance for some thunderstorms kicking in as we head past midnight. Let's talk about that here now. We're kind of in between a couple of different things. There's a watch over here and a watch over here, but we're just kind of sitting here. I'm going to zoom into this spot right there. This was a pretty good thunderstorm, not severe, just a random run-of-the-mill thunderstorm. Now it's losing its oomph as it makes its way towards Grand Island and Interstate 80. So I don't think that'll make it much further south and east. But there's some stronger storms over here along Interstate 76 south of the Panhandle. That's the area that has a better chance for severe weather today. Notice Grand Island right on the edge. Level 1, then level 2 for North Platte and McCook. Level 3, enhanced risk for southwestern parts of the state, including the Panhandle into Colorado and Wyoming. That area will likely see these storms right here. And this is where they would try to be on the severe side, and then once they get out of that area, they weaken, and then just some scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head through the first half of the day tomorrow. Some storms still a possibility the first half of the day in south central and southeast Nebraska, north central Nebraska. I think central Nebraska, not so much. More rain off to the west, and you can see a line of storms down here towards Beatrice, from Lincoln to Beatrice and Hebron by late tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow, another severe weather chance for the western portion of the state. More on that in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Rusty. Let's take a live look at some roads here in the capital city. This is Northwest 48th and West O Street right now. You see a few cars. Doesn't look too crazy out there as you're getting ready to make that commute home. Might get a little bit busier. We'll have to check in back later. Happening tonight, the Indian Center is looking for volunteers. They will be putting up fencing around their garden starting around 5:30 p.m. today. They say anyone who'd like to volunteer or has any questions can call the center at the number right there on your screen. Well, right now, Nebraska making it to a top spot for places promising a great road trip experience.
Hey everyone, Meg West here. Nebraska is a front runner for road trip destinations. Wallet Hub looked at all 50 states to find the best places for road trippers based on activities, safety, and affordability. Nebraska ranking 14 on this list. We placed top 10 in both the safety and cost category. Here's a look at that map. Sitting at number 1, Minnesota. Wallet Hub says this is due to the state's spending per capita on parks and recreation and having one of the most fairs and festivals per capita during the summer. And at the bottom of the list, Rhode Island. Wallet Hub credits this to high cost and a low number of activities.
Well, also right now, people in one Lincoln neighborhood may be seeing some big flames, but no need to panic. The city's Parks and Rec say they're conducting controlled burns of brush piles in Wilderness Park near Yankee Hill Road and South 14th Street. The controlled burns happening all day and will run until 5 o'clock tonight. And coming up after the break, festivities brewing. Preparations underway for one of the biggest nights in country music. What you can expect from this year's CMA Fest. And coming up all new at 5, top of the hour, Community Truck. Learn about the creative way a group of men in Lincoln are helping ease the pressure of rising gas prices for their neighbors.
We're here for all the action. Every team, every matchup, every night, bringing you the best local sports coverage in the game. Channel 8, bringing you Nebraska Now.
Locally owned since 1963, Leach Camper Sales of Lincoln offers a huge variety of RVs. Unlike competitors' same old models, your choice is always uniquely yours. All types, all styles, all price ranges. Get out and live life. Leach Camper Sales of Lincoln. Camp better.
My God, that Schoen's Roofing did it again.
Dear America, get to Toyota's Independence Day sales event because the fireworks start here. Toyota's got plenty of bang for your buck with quality, efficiency, and value that keeps glowing long after the smoke clears. So fire up your savings with Toyota. Get a great deal on the 2026 Camry with 3.99% APR financing or lease Camry for just $299 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Craving a mouth-watering sub sandwich? Look no further than Sid's Deli and Subs, serving fresh, made-to-order subs with your choice of sliced meats and cheeses on our soft, fresh-baked bread. Come and taste the Sid's Deli difference. Sid's Deli and Subs, 33rd and Cornhusker, Lincoln.
When it comes to Viking hand, or Dupuytren's contracture, don't be a Viking. Request a modern, non-surgical treatment with minimal recovery time. Visit findahandspecialist.com.
At Spectrum, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between speed, reliability, and value. That's why Spectrum fiber-powered internet gives you all three for just $40 a month. No contracts, no commitment. Just great internet at a great price. Spectrum fiber-powered internet delivers the fastest and most reliable internet for everything you do at home. Streaming, gaming, and connecting. Switch today and get Spectrum fiber-powered internet for just $40 a month. Call now or go online.
For generations, we've been here, caring for our community. From our roots as Tabitha to who we are today as Eventide, our mission has never changed. We're your local, trusted partner in home health and hospice care, supporting you when it matters most. Guided by faith, grounded in compassion, and committed as a nonprofit to put people first. Eventide, care you can trust when you need it most.
Happening tomorrow night, it's the country music event of the summer. CMA Fest bringing together all of the biggest names in country music for one memorable night. ABC Joelle Goruglo has a preview for us.
For 4 days and 4 nights, Nashville rocked out with country music's biggest stars at CMA Fest. The highlights of the festival will air in a 3-hour special on ABC.
I feel amazing, you know. Feels like I'm back home.
You work your whole life to make it across to that stage, and it's just a really, really special thing.
Good Morning America's Lara Spencer and country star Riley Green are your hosts for the night.
Well, I'm brand new, so I'm just getting started, but I haven't messed anything up yet.
This is the world of country music. I'm a New York City girl. My day job on GMA looks nothing like this.
The special features unexpected collaborations, including Russell Dickerson and Fetty Wap. We'll also see performances by Jelly Roll, Ella Langley, Shabuzi, Blake Shelton, and the reunion 5 years in the making.
They are FGL, Florida, Georgia,
Jordan Davis revealed what playing the festival means to the stars.
The fans are what allow us to make a living out of a passion, and that passion's country music, and without them, we don't exist. So it's all about them.
Don't make me turn this truck around. Joelle Gargiulo for On the Red Carpet.
And tomorrow night, you can watch the biggest night in country music live on ABC right here on Channel 8. Tune in at 7 p.m. our time to see which of your favorite artists take the stage and who will be getting an award. Well, let's get one last look at your weather at 4:30. Rusty, take it away.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies in Aurora right now. A little bit of a breeze. This flag's stuck too. That's the second flag I've seen that's been stuck. I don't normally see. They're usually flying just fine. I wonder, the wind must be swirling around a little bit and it's messing with the flags. They'll be fine. They'll get unstuck eventually. Right at 80 degrees, 70s to the west. As we head through tonight, I think we'll drop into the lower 60s. Middle and upper 50s a little further west, and north a little cooler in O'Neill and Valentine tomorrow morning, middle 50s. Then we don't warm up a whole lot tomorrow. I think we're going to see 60s and 70s for temperatures Thursday afternoon. Then we cool off, and then we're going to heat up, and I think we'll get to the 80s on Friday, 70s for everybody else. That's just the beginning, though. We are going to really warm up as we head towards the weekend. Storm threat tonight, especially out here, southwest and south central Nebraska, may see some strong storms. And then once we get past sunset, everything kind of fizzles out a little bit. A few more storms going to be possible the first half of the day tomorrow.
Thanks so much, Rusty. And that will do it for Channel 8 News at 4:30. Rod Fowler's coming up next, along with our team of reporters and now citizen journalists coming up at the top of the hour. Make sure to stick with us.
The Jalapeno Popper Frenchie.
is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, affordability on pause.
I would advise the president to take the win.
President Trump announcing he won't sign the Housing Affordability Act until his Save America Act is signed into law. What local lawmakers who support Trump and the housing bill say about the postponing. Also tonight, troubling traffic stops. York County deputies pull 2 separate cars over and arrest 2 separate men. What dangerous items they say they found in the driver's possession. And postseason prize. Dylan Carey earns himself another national award following the Huskers' great season. What the College Baseball Foundation is honoring him with, and trucking together.
It kind of creates this mutual economy where we're supporting our friends, our neighbors.
What solution 3 neighbors came up with to strengthen the community while avoiding high gas prices. Right now, 3 neighbors are putting wheels in motion, partly due to gas prices, which, by the way, we're seeing them coming down. Citizen journalist Kevin sending this video from a Casey's here in Lincoln into our Now Local News app. $3.66 a gallon. Lower than it's been. Still more than many of us would like to pay, though. Now, 3 locals are working to get around the issue. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Rod Fowler. The 3 men buying this used pickup truck right here and letting others, I should say, use it for projects or just to get around. Channel 8's Emma Norwood had a chance to speak with the owners and how they're giving back.
3 neighbors, 1 big idea. The Indian Village community is kickstarting a new way of getting around.
It kind of creates this mutual economy where we're supporting our friends, our neighbors, and making sure everybody's getting their needs taken care of.
Brent Luck, Isaac Rimbold, and John Harkendorf coming together to start a truck co-op. Their goal, give the neighborhood an easier way of completing community projects and have a safe, reliable form of transportation.
Found ourselves either renting, borrowing trucks, trailers for mulching, gardening, helping people move. And we realized that individually buying a truck might not make sense, but buying a third of the truck each is a little bit more affordable. So we pooled our money, pooled our resources, formed an LLC.
The 3 men going all in to buy this truck. And with rising gas prices, everyone who uses it is helping to pitch in. They say the co-op model gives others a chance to take ownership of something and strengthen relationships that go far beyond one single project.
People might not quite understand how to cooperatively own something because usually we own our own car individually or with a partner in a family unit. But extending that use to other community members, it really teaches people to trust each other more. And I think that's kind of the secret sauce that we're trying to put on this sandwich, so to speak.
With more time, they tell me they're hoping the truck becomes a symbol of what can happen when a community decides to solve problems together. Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
And the peace deal in the war in Iran and the opening of the Strait of Hormuz is driving oil prices down. Brent crude oil fell below $74 a barrel today, reaching its lowest level since late February. It was down about $4. The strait staying open right now is important as U.S. crude inventories recently plunged to their lowest levels since 1984. And breaking now, President Trump is canceling the signing of the housing affordability bill, at least for now. It's a bill that was passed by Congress by wide bipartisan margins, but Trump, who was on Capitol Hill today, saying he will not sign the legislation into law until lawmakers pass the Save America Act, a proposed law requiring proof of citizenship and photo ID for federal voter registration. Both sides of the aisle tonight reacting.
How does the SAVE Act lower American people's housing costs? It doesn't. How does the SAVE Act do anything good? It doesn't. It's a vicious, nasty piece of material.
He has expressed the priority and the preference of the Save America Act. We share that. We passed it 3 times in the House.
House Speaker Johnson remained confident the delay was temporary and anticipates it will be signed in the next 10 days. Senator Pete Ricketts is a supporter of the president as well as the housing bill, so we hopped on the phone with him today to ask him how long he thinks it's appropriate for Nebraskans to wait for the president to sign the bill that would help our state. Here's what he had to say.
I, again, would encourage the president to say, hey, this is a good bill. It's going to help bring down housing costs. You know, the average age of a homeowner today is 40 years old. 10 years ago, it was 31. I certainly appreciate where the president's coming from. I voted for the SAVE Act 5 times, but if I was advising the president, I'd tell him, take the win. Talk about it. It's a good bill.
And of course, we'll keep you up to date as Congress and the president work on these bills. New details now in a pair of York County traffic stops that led to the discovery of explosive devices. Deputies are not necessarily saying the two arrests are connected, but they did happen within 2 days of each other. They say the man on the left side of your screen, James Winter, had a 6 to 7 inch explosive device in his vehicle. They say the man on the right had a PVC pipe bomb in his car. They're now both lodged in the York County Corrections Center. It is a time once again to get a look at your first forecast for this Wednesday evening. A great day for some golf. Citizen journalist Melanie sending this video into our Now Local News app of people playing some holes out there in the sunshine. A perfect day to do it with it not being too hot out. Some would say it wasn't a bad day, maybe a little muggy as we take a look outside from our Honda of Lincoln camera. A lot of areas could still stand some rain. Is there really any chance for that happening? Let's hear from Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Rusty?
A couple of different chances. One happening right now. It's dwindling, but it's trying. And then later on tonight, in parts of western and southwestern Nebraska, where they really, really need the rain, they may see some tonight as well. But here's what's going on right now. Just north of Grand Island is one little spot cell that's trying, but it's dissipating as it gets closer to Interstate 80. Then that very strong storm just west of McCook and North Platte. We'll talk about that later. First, here's what it looks like just southwest of Columbus, just north of Grand Island. Again, that is not likely going to make it to Interstate 80. 6th and Perkins, Shones roofing cam looking at a mixture of clouds and sun, more sun than clouds, and it's warm, 82 degrees. The dew point at 63, so there is a touch of humidity out there. I noticed it today. 81 degrees in Lincoln, 78 in Grand Island, much cooler towards Broken Bow at 72. But the dew point starting to fall off now, so it's getting more tolerable in the middle and upper 50s, and there's still some 60s out there. But again, those scattered showers and some thunderstorms, watch what happens as we head through tonight. The strong storms on the left side of your screen really balloon up around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight and make their way through southwestern into south central Nebraska when they really start to dissipate. Still a strong storm there by midnight, and then kind of fizzles out as we head towards the overnight hours. So the severe threat is in the western half of the state tonight. We'll detail that in the full forecast.
Thank you, Rusty. New details now from a car fire producing some fierce flames near Highway 77 and West Pioneers Boulevard this morning.
Need a ride?
Yes, he said.
I don't think they heard me.
Citizen journalist Linda captured this video for us there on US 77 before first responders even arrived at the scene. She tells us she and her husband tried to help out the people stranded in the street from the fire. If you scan the QR code on your screen, you can find this video on our Now Local News app. And take a look behind me, a huge amount of smoke coming from that car. Of course, officials say the vehicle is a total loss, no big surprise there. And this is what's left behind, a completely charred vehicle just moments later. LFR now telling us the fire was caused by a mechanical failure. The road there is back open after being closed for a while as crews were putting out the fire. Right now, a hotline is open for you to voice your property tax concerns to our government. Governor Pillen launching this service today. All you have to do is call the number on your screen, and you'll be able to share information about increasing property valuations and rising property tax bills. I know a lot of people have opinions on this. The state has invested nearly $1.7 billion into property tax reductions. But property taxpayers are still feeling the pain every year when valuations are reset. The governor says the Nebraska legislature has promised to fix the property tax crisis for decades now. He says, quote, property taxes are so out of whack, you don't even need to own property to feel the impact. It's now time to work together and find the solution. All right, let's talk some sports now. Nebraska baseball star Dylan Carey was honored with another award. By golly, he's been racking up the postseason awards. And for the latest on today's announcement, let's check in with Channel 8 Sports Director Nate Johnson, who joins us here in the studio. Nate.
Hey, thank you, Rod. Well, it seems like every other week we have a new Dylan Carey Award to talk about, right? And Carey is certainly deserving of all this offseason praise. Today, Carey picked up his second All-America honor from the College Baseball Foundation, who unveiled his 2026 All-American team today. Carey selected to the CBF All-American team, and what a season it was for Carey, who finished with a .353 batting average while adding in 16 doubles, 2 triples, 15 home runs, 65 RBIs, and 53 runs scored. And that's just on offense, and became the program's all-time leader in career doubles this season, and was the 9th Husker in program history to reach 200 career at-bats, 150 runs, and 150 RBIs. Now, in the field, he committed just 4 errors on 216 opportunities for a .981 fielding percentage, while turning 29 double plays at shortstop. Carey was also named the Brooks Wallace Award winner earlier this month, among many other postseason awards. We'll have a lot more to talk about in the Sports Zone. We'll see you there. For now, the Rod will send things back over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Nate, and stay with us. We have more heading your way after the break, and a new batch of stories for our 6 o'clock newscast, including No More Shade. A local favorite bar is losing one of its best outdoor features, what they're asking people to do before the big change. And coming up after the break, dairy delivery, how one corporation is providing for families in need. And a reminder, tomorrow night you can watch the biggest night in country music right here on ABC. The CMAs are at 7 o'clock our time, right here on Channel 8. Tune in to see which of your favorite artists take the stage and who will be getting an award. We'll be right back. Celebrations are kicking off for America's 250th anniversary of independence. Congressional leadership today buried the first of several time capsules set to mark the occasion. Let's take a look. Here it is. This is the first one. It and others will be open 250 years from now. by future members of Congress. Together, they'll hold at least one item from every state, including Nebraska. Our item is an archival photo of the vice grip pliers. I don't know if you know this or not. They were invented right here in Nebraska, in DeWitt. New tonight, Lincoln's co-responder program is getting some national recognition. An annual conference on the importance of it was held in Dallas, and Lincoln Police Department's Doug Headley and Centerpoint's Amber Dirks were there. Here's the two of them getting ready to give their presentation to those attending. Also, Investigator Headley will be featured in a new national training video about crisis intervention, highlighting the best practices for co-response programs. That's when a behavioral health specialist teams up with an officer on certain calls. Lincoln Police say it's been very successful here.
Our co-responder unit has taken 503 calls since its inception on March 1st, 2025. In the first year, crew took 366 calls, so this is an additional 137 in the last 4 months.
Now, the Lincoln Police Department has 4 co-responders that are handling that volume of calls. Right now, Lincoln Police are issuing a warning on a lethal drug, carfentanil, a drug commonly used as a large animal tranquilizer, is linked to overdoses across the country. They say it's 10,000 times more potent than morphine. Traces of the drugs are present in Omaha with the potential of it reaching Lincoln. LPD officials say the drug is so lethal that a dose the size of a grain of salt can kill. Also right now, the Buffalo County Sheriff's Office searching for a wanted man. Lucas Shaneman has a warrant out for his arrest for 2 counts of third-degree sexual assault and first-degree false imprisonment. The Sheriff's Office says he has ties to Kearney and Ravenna and may currently be in the Omaha area. You're urged to call law enforcement if you know where he is.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
The main threat for storms yesterday, today, and even into tomorrow will be the far western portion of the state. Tornado watch is in place now through 11 o'clock tonight, local time, for the Panhandle, parts of the Panhandle, and almost all of northeastern Colorado and into Wyoming. So that's where the storms are going to be coming from. More on that in a minute. First, today's high of 83, just a few degrees shy of normal of 87. The low today was very close to normal as well, so kind of a normal day, just a little cooler than average. And speaking of, we'll be much cooler tomorrow, but do not get used to that. Things are about to change. Barry Law Cam looking towards downtown Lincoln. Mixture of clouds and sun, a little more cloud cover than sun. Still at 81 degrees though, and there's not a lot of 80s out there today. Hebron, Beatrice, Nebraska City, Omaha, and I guess a few over here towards North Platte, Imperial, and McCook, but everybody else in the 70s. Barely 70 in Thedford, 72 in Broken Bow, but we're at 82 in Beatrice and Hebron, 79s in York, Aurora, and Hastings, 78s in Kearney and Grand Island. Dew Point was a little out there today. Went out with my son a little bit today, quick par 3 golf course, and it was humid out there. I was struggling towards the end of it. It was just a little more humid than it has been in recent days, but it's that time of year, I guess. Not much of a breeze. A breeze would have helped. A north wind at 5, maybe 10 miles per hour, and that's it. This poor little guy, he tried. It had some lightning associated with it well off to the north and west earlier today, and now it just not going to quite make it to the interstate, but it tried. A few scattered showers out there too. One little isolated thunderstorm here in the far southwestern corner of Brown County. A few spot sprinkles towards O'Neill. This though is the strong storm threat, and this is the area right here. This level 3 enhanced risk has the best chance for severe weather tonight, and then the further east you go, the less of a chance you get. So level 1, level 2, level 3, highest risk. But there are some storms out there, and here's where it goes. Into southwestern Nebraska by about 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow, or excuse me, tonight, from North Platte to McCook, the southwestern corner here. Some of this could be strong to severe. But like I said, the further east you get, the less of a chance you have at severe storms. But it's not a zero chance. So some of these could be strong to severe by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. But by the time we get past that, everything fizzles out. So 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, still a rumble of thunder possible in south central and southeast Nebraska, but the severe threat is way down there. Scattered storms to the north, scattered rain to the south and west. For those that need the rain, music to your ears, hearing scattered storms all over the place, and that lingers. Still storm chance out there early tomorrow morning. Just kind of depends on where you're at. Then even more storms trying to form here in south central, southeast Nebraska, and scattered storms where they desperately need the rain through noon on Thursday. So we'll see if we can get some rainfall for everybody, and there's still more chances by Thursday late afternoon and into the evening hours. So a very unsettled weather pattern as we head through your Thursday. Again, the better chance for severe weather farther west, but 1 or 2 strong storms in central Nebraska, possibility too. Temperatures tonight pretty close to 60, highs tomorrow. One more cooler than average day, 60s and 70s. I think we'll do the middle 70s around here. Then we get back to 80 on Friday, normal on Saturday, but then look at that, lower and middle 90s all the way through next week. 1st of July is on Wednesday, 4th of July next weekend.
Thank you, Rusty. New tonight, an inside look on a collaboration to feed families in need. The Food Bank of Lincoln is partnering with Kemp's Dairy to further their goal of alleviating hunger here in Nebraska. Kemp's Giving Cow Project donates half-pint milk that is shelf stable for up to a year. You can see staff from Kemp's not only donating milk, but they were helping package other products that keep families fed. Among the boxes of milk, volunteers from Kemp's, right there, they're putting bagged carrots all together for the food bank.
Here at the Food Bank of Lincoln, we're just so thankful for our community support. We love engaging volunteers in our work, and it's one way that we're able to connect all the great food with the neighbors in our community in need.
The Food Bank of Lincoln is always open for volunteers to aid in their cause of providing for those in need. Also new tonight, the Kearney Police Department is hosting the National Association of School Resource Officers training. 7 Kearney Public School representatives will be attending that behavioral threat assessment portion of this course this week. The police department says they're committed to providing their school resource officers with the best training available to keep their schools safe. But don't go anywhere. We have more headed your way after the break. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we have fundraising foes. Governor Jim Pillen and his Democratic challenger Lynn Walls releasing some campaign fundraising stats today. Who's raising more money headed into the November elections? We'll be right back. Officially adding 1 minute to your drive. Lincoln Transportation and Utilities actually timed it. They used a construction navigation app called Waze that showed it will take you an average of 1 minute longer to get to the University Parking Square garage from O Street because of a couple of extra turns. But they say the trip is worth it to keep enjoying the businesses and the restaurants there and other businesses on O Street. You know, sometimes I think mentally, boy, we're going way out of the way, and then when you actually time it, it's really not that bad. You're always timing the weather. How's it look for folks tonight?
As long as they don't hit any stoplights, they're usually okay. Right. That's the big deal. We're watching some storms out here. We have, this is through 7 a.m. Thursday. You know what? I'm going to back up here a little bit. Got off track and didn't go back to where I want to show you first here. Look at that. There's a tornado warning in northeastern Colorado. That's kind of the beginnings of what's headed our way overnight. So temperature-wise, we're in the 70s and 80s. But here's that storm cast as those storms move out of Colorado into southwest and south central Nebraska. Storms are going to be possible. Some of those could be strong, maybe severe. I think by the time they get into central Nebraska, not so much, but lingering storms overnight in eastern Nebraska.
All right. Thank you, Rusty, and thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back at 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.
The Jalapeno Popper Frenchie. Creamy.